The best way to dig yourself out of a hole is not to dig yourself out of a hole. It's to find why you were in the hole in the first place. And the big reason for that is because you put your desires, you put relationships above God. You put your own mind above God. You let lies take over instead of the truth of the Bible. God is a God of truth and of love and of answers. But if you don't seek Him, you won't know what those answers are. As a Christian, there should be an urgency for the people, for us. There will be a time we will be in front of Jesus and we will give an account to everything we have done, have not done. Spread the gospel, love on others, have patience, spend time getting closer to God, because there will be a time where it will be too late. We live in America, the best country on earth. Take advantage of the freedom we have here. Read your Bible. Seek God. Take time apart to learn more about God and seek Him. We live in the freedom that we are in. Do not take it for granted. It's not going to be here forever. If you are not constantly going out there trying to evangelize, then either you're a lazy Christian or you don't care enough about people to bring them to God. Eternal security is the most important thing. If you are a Christian, you should be pursuing others to see the truth and accept the love of God. If you want to weaken your relationship with God, simple. Rely on yourself. If you want to strengthen your relationship with God, rely on God. Not on your understanding, not on your circumstances, not on your weakness, but rely on the strength of God. If you want to stay stuck and not grow, keep staying alone. Don't leave your room, because you will never hear new perspectives. The only perspective you will ever hear is yours. And if you only hear yours, you can't grow. Making friends, talking to new people is essential, because you hear a bunch of other perspectives. Conversations is the start for growth. So talk to new people, hear new perspectives, and stop listening to your brain alone. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams. But what you can do is you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are ultimately up to you. You get to decide who you become and the person you are and end up becoming. You need to stop overthinking. Overthinking is the reason you are stuck. Overthinking is the reason why you can't move on. Overthinking is the reason you have not reached your purpose yet. Stop overthinking. It's not worth it. Be in the present, live in the present, because time will go on and all you will have will be regrets. What if it works? What if it does not work? Either way, wouldn't it be better if it worked? Now you got success, as opposed to it didn't work. Well, you're in the same place you were in before. So wouldn't the obvious be to go for it? Because if it doesn't work, you're in the same place you were beforehand. So 1 + 1 = 2. And my logic here says, don't be a loser. Make something out of your life. Create a garden in which attracts butterflies. Build a life, a great life where you will attract the women of your dreams. Stop chasing women. Let them come to you. Stop chasing them, because then that will waste your time. Be a man, where you will be a man of their dreams. Therefore, you attract the women of your dreams. But be the man of which you are trying to become. If you're chasing a woman of God or a great woman, become a great man of God. Become a great man. Become what you're trying to become, what you are trying to attract. If you want something, work hard for it. You don't know how much time you have here on earth. Our time here is limited. You don't know what 2-3 years from now is going to look like. Things could change from 1 year. A year ago, everything was very good. Now things are different. Things change. Anything could happen. But remember, you can determine your own luck, your own life, the outcome of it. You can't change the past, but what you can do is change your future and the person you become and who you are. Remember, if you're a single child, your family's depending on you. If you're the most intelligent in your family and your siblings aren't there yet, they're depending on you. So take risk, don't give up, and keep going, because you will regret it when the day comes and you're worse off than your parents. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to be worse off than your parents. You can be better. Work hard, achieve, and become great. Become more than what you are. Don't ever give up, or your parents may end up depending on it.
Here's a simple sign somebody's a born leader. Simon Sinek once said, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. The ones who lead naturally, they don't need a little title. They step in and people follow. They don't command attention, they earn trust. They don't need the spotlight, they take responsibility, especially when things go wrong. And they make people feel safe, seen, and supported. You don't feel managed, you feel backed. Here's what you'll notice. They stay calm under pressure. They make decisions without needing validation. They elevate others without making it about themselves. They admit when they're wrong fast, and they take action before being asked. They're not trying to prove they're in charge. They're already thinking about who they're protecting. Leadership isn't loud, it's who steps up when things fall apart. Born leaders don't wait for permission. They move with conviction, because leading is who they are, not what they're trying to do. Here's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They interrupt your words like they don't matter. And this lines up with something the philosopher Confucius once said. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. And what he meant was this: someone who truly respects you gives you the space to finish your thoughts. They don't talk over you. They don't check their phone while you're speaking. They don't make you feel like your voice is the background noise. Because respect isn't just about what someone says to you, it's about whether they're actually hearing you. And there are two kinds of people: those who make the room for your voice, and those who constantly compete with it. One leans in when you speak, the other just waits for you to stop. You'll never have to beg someone who respects you to listen.
Maybe, just maybe, God is allowing pressure in your life as a thorn in your side to keep you humble and reliant on God, to say, God, I trust you with this thing. Because if you didn't have this pressure being allowed on you, and it was teaching you to trust in God fully, you wouldn't need God in the first place. And we tend to blame God and think, man, God, you suck. Why don't you take this thing away? You know, God took away my anxiety, but there's other things he hasn't taken away from me. And I'm like, God, why don't you take this thing away from me? But every day I realize, man, I need this thing in my life, this thorn, to keep me humble and reliant on God. And maybe it's a hard thing to hear, but maybe the reason that God is allowing the pressure in your life is so that you keep leaning on him and not yourself, because every time you lean on yourself, you blow your whole freaking life up. So maybe your but God shouldn't be, but God, why are you allowing this to happen to me? Maybe it should be, but God, thank you that I can trust you and love you, and that you deal with these things for me, and you give me wisdom, you give me strength, and you give me peace. Maybe that's how we should reframe it. And instead of looking at the mountain of issues, of things to do, of pressure, of confrontations in your life, maybe look to heaven and say, God, give me wisdom. Let me not look at the mountain and be intimidated, but let me look at your feet and give me step by step on how I deal with this.